Now, to give us more clarity on this matter, we are now joined in studio by the Minister of Mines and Energy, Tom Halwendo. A very good evening to you, Minister, and thank you so much for making the time to join us.
Good evening, Theo, and thanks for having me.
Much obliged. Now, fuel station owners, and of course also in the previous insert that just played, have called on your ministry to remove fuel wholesalers as well as banks out of the retail market. Are their calls legitimate, and is this something that your ministry actually has a mandate to do?
Theo, the situation is this, that, and as we all know, fuel prices have been increasing very rapidly this year. And we know why that's happening, simply because of the geopolitics that we're all aware of, the Russia-Ukraine issues. And the fact that we now have to import from the international market where the price has increased, obviously now, we are suffering from this. And this is not only Namibia. I mean, everywhere you go, fuel has been increasing. Now, with that fuel increase, of course, it's become difficult for everybody. Not only the retailers, like I understand what they're asking. I understand not only the retailer, but equally the consumers are suffering, and therefore, it's kind of a very, very difficult balancing act to make. So what the retailers are demanding is to say, since the price of fuel is determined by government, and normally what we do is like, you get the price, the cost of the fuel, which is we call the landed price, and there are few levies that are added on that price, including also the dealer's margin that we put on that price. Now they are saying, look, the price has been going up, the volume is drying up, because now people are buying less fuel. We need an increase in this dealer margin. So I do hear that point, but the issue is this, that increase in the dealer margin, if you were to agree to that, it can only mean putting more pressure on the consumer. And over the last couple of months, we are trying to really see what we can do to actually make the pressure a little bit much lighter. Like you might remember, 2 months ago, we also went as far as reviewing the levies that are put on this price. People who might not know, for example, MVA used to receive 50 cents per liter. That has been cut to only 25. The road administration used to get $1.48 from a liter. Now that also was reduced to half and only getting 74 cents. And this was all in an effort to make it much easier for the consumer to be able to actually to deal with these price increases. Now, as I said, while I understand the demand, we are saying, can we not wait until at least the price stabilizes a little bit? And when the time comes when we are going to at least have some decrease in the price, we'll then try and use that decrease to try and manage this issue of the dealer's margin. And that's a discussion we're having. I can understand why they're saying what they are saying, but that's really the situation, trying to say increasing the dealer's margin can only mean increasing the price further and putting more hardship on the consumer.
So has government, in essence, then already responded to FAFA?
We have been having a discussion with FAFA, as Mr. Creer was just saying in that inset. We had a couple of meetings, trying really to see how best we can deal with these issues. For example, yesterday we did have a meeting where we talked about the same issues. We came to a conclusions which we also put in writing to them. So this is a position. Not that we have agreed, but at least just made clear that this is a position. And the position, as I say, was just like, it's difficult for government now to agree on another price increase to deal with the dealer's margin. And also just to make it clear, there was also an argument to say, the wholesalers are getting more out of the price. Just to say, the dealer's margin is $1.13 per liter. The wholesaler's margin is $1.08 per liter. So it's not true that the the oil companies that are the importing companies are getting much of a profit on this price. Is more or less the same, but even there's even less than the dealers. And also there was also something which I saw on the social media where it was said that how come is that fuel is landed in Walvis Bay at $8 per liter, but we are paying $22. Where does the rest go? Again, just to make it clear, it's not true. I mean, price current is being landed at Walvis Bay at $16. And the rest is exactly now either now the levies that are still remaining, the profit margin for both the retailer and the wholesalers. So it's not really true to say there's a huge gap between the landed price and the price at which now the consumer is buying.
Now, based on the meeting that you had with FAFA and considering that government is not in a position to increase their retail margin at this point in time, were they able then to accept those terms to wait until then the economy has slightly then recovered, or either the fuel price has recovered, or what were their of course, I'm looking at it at the case of trying to allay the fears around them wanting to shut down their operations.
They basically just understood the position government has. Not that they have agreed, but that's the position we put them to say, unfortunately, right now we are not in a position to really increase this. But we undertook to actually, do that when the time comes when the price is stabilized. The issue about the threats to say we are going to strike if you don't do that. Obviously, I mean, people have got the right to do that, but our appeal is to say, look, that's just going to destabilize and make it more difficult to everybody else. And I think in the crisis where we are, I think we all just really, really need to tighten our belts. And that's all what we are doing. I can tell you, the people who are relying on the levies that I just talked about now, which have been reduced, they are saying, look, we aren't actually able to operate. But we are equally just saying to them, look, we're just going to have to hold on because we can't do much. Everybody is actually having the same problem.
Indeed.
So my appeal to really everyone who's affected is, look, we are all in this. And nobody enjoys the fact that suddenly our retailers are not able to make ends meet. Nobody enjoys the fact that every now and then the price to the consumer has to go, to go up. It's simply because of the situation where we are. And the only thing you really can hope for is to say, the original of the problem hopefully is get resolved, such that one day we can go back and where the price can start to come down. We have currently observed the reduction of the crude oil. Not long ago, crude oil was up to $130, for example, per barrel. It has gone down below 100. So if that continues, we may actually start to see that having a reducing effect on the fall, and then hopefully then that will actually be a start of the price stabilizing.
So in short, we're not going to be expecting any letters from you anytime soon on any increases.
I can't guarantee. I wish I could guarantee that. Unfortunately, I can't really guarantee that. And again, I always say, people think, we simply want to increase the price. I say, look, we don't actually increase the price. We simply say, we announce the price change to say, look, where we buy this is now what it is, and therefore this is what's going to be. So it's not like we're really, really increasing the price. We're actually announcing the price where the increase has taken place, where we buy the product. So I can't really give you any guarantee to say, there won't be any increase. We'll see. As you know, we do it every monthly review. In the last week of the month, we always have a review. We'll see what the review is going to reveal.
Well, on behalf of all the consumers out there, we hope you try to hold off as long as possible from signing that letter.
Well, let's hope so.
Indeed. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Right.
Well, there you have it. There was the Minister of Mines and Energy, Tom Malwendo, just shedding more light on the matter around the fuel station owners and, of course, their demands with regards to the increase of their retail margins and, of course, then government's response on that specific matter.